Let's move on to the NFL divisional round preview. So let's kick it off with the top of the NFC. Let's go Packers and Rams. What is your score prediction, and what are some notes that you have?
For me, with Aaron Donald possibly not playing 100%, and I think Goff is not going to be 100% like health wise. I just feel like the Packers will be able to put away the Rams. Not because the Packers will like outscore them like crazy. I just feel like the Rams offense just won't look very sharp. I mean, even this game against the Seahawks, they weren't. Besides Cam Akers, Goff wasn't the sharpest. I think he was 9 of 19 and 55 yards and one touchdown, kind of like a garbage time. I felt like the game was kind of out of reach. Not out of reach, but like I just didn't feel like the Seahawks were going to win at that point. I just feel like even if Jalen Ramsey guards Devontae Adams for most of the game, I think Rodgers has that ability to just make any receivers look good. So I got the Packers winning 20-10.
Okay. I also have the Packers winning, but I have it a little bit of a bigger deficit. I have 28-17.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my thing is that like with the Packers, uh, don't be surprised if their defense stops Cam Akers completely, but then they also let Harrell like go off for like 40 or 50 yards on some run or something. The Packers defense I'm a little bit concerned about with the run defense at least, but
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to a big opponent, they can usually focus on them and clamp them up like they would Derrick Henry earlier in the season.
Yeah, I was gonna
Uh,
say that too.
yeah,
The Derrick Henry point, yeah.
yeah, but just like you said, like with Aaron Donald not fully healthy, he's still obviously a big threat, and the line's going to
Mm-hmm.
be focused on him a lot. Uh, but I do think Rodgers is good enough to beat them. I also think that Devontae Adams matches up pretty decently against Jalen Ramsey. I know Jalen Ramsey just shut down DK, but I mean Devontae Adams' route running it's ridiculously good.
Oh,
I
it's a
mean, yeah, I mean, he's one of the best wide receivers in the game. To like, he's top three in my opinion. I don't see him getting that bogged down by Jalen Ramsey. So I do see the Packers really going off. Aaron Jones, I think, is going to be pretty effective in this game in terms of like maybe some dump off screen passes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he could really make his money there for this game. And yeah, the Rams offense, I don't really believe in it as much. I do think they'll drop 17 just because, like I said, like they'll have a random running back go off somehow. Yeah, I mean, my thing is that like originally, so if you had asked me during our first podcast, if you had asked me who the Super Bowl matchup was going to be, I would have said Bills versus Rams. I would have picked the Rams to win. Just because, in my opinion, on paper they had the least amount of weaknesses. But now with all the injuries and stuff, I don't think they make it. I also, in my opinion, I think whoever wins this game between the Packers and the Rams will go on to the Super Bowl. I don't see the Saints or the Bucks making it, in my opinion.
And neither do I. I do agree with that. I do not see the Bucks or the Saints making the Super Bowl. I think both those teams just they're missing just something. They're just missing something. It feels like.
Yeah. So let's move on to the Saints and Bucks since we were just talking
Yeah.
about. So my score prediction for the Saints versus Bucks game is going to be 31-28.
Oh,
I
you have it
think,
really close.
yeah, I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a really fun matchup. I know the very first game they had in the season, the Saints blew them out of the water, but the next game was much closer, and I think this game is going to be even closer. Um, I mean, this is just a fun divisional matchup. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. I mean, there's going to be a lot of offense in this game. I don't think either defense is really stopping each other much. I think the Saints will probably pull it out in the end. I mean, if Heineke can like run over that entire Bucks defense, which they just kind of prove that they can't guard mobile quarterbacks. If they can't guard Heineke, I don't think they're going to be able to guard Taysom Hill once they put Taysom Hill in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I don't see the Bucks really taking it unless they, pull out some cheese at the end of the game with a field goal or something. But yeah, I think the Saints take this game.
Yeah, I have the Saints winning as well. For me, I just felt like the Saints have had the Bucks number this whole season. Um, I think it was the last time they played, it was the blowout. I think the first week was more competitive. But for me, I just feel like if they couldn't beat them in the regular season, I just feel like that's kind of gonna continue. I feel like they kind of have live rent free currently in the Buccaneers' head. And like you said, they didn't really play their best or sharpest game against Washington. It made them look very competitive. So the Saints are a much better team than Washington. I just don't see them, doing much. I'm not gonna say they're gonna get blown out like they did a couple weeks ago, but I feel like it'll be more similar to the week one kind of style of play. I have the Saints winning 27-17.
Okay, that's pretty good. Let's jump to the Browns and the Chiefs. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to pick the Browns to win this game because Claypool, man, the Steelers just can't stop talking. Claypool,
Yeah, they really can't.
yeah, Claypool went on, I believe it was Instagram Live, and he said something along the lines of, "Oh, the Browns going to get blown out next week." Like,
Mm-hmm.
first off, like, come on, man. Like, I I know it's probably true, but like, all right, do you want to see the Browns make the Super Bowl? Like, why do you keep giving them all this motivation? I don't understand. Um, but yeah, I picked the Browns to lose to the Chiefs 28-35. I do think it's going to be a good game. I mean, the run game is fantastic. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even in the Steelers game, in the first quarter, most of it was just the running game. Baker Mayfield was barely even throwing. Like, the run game was just destroying the Steelers. I think the run game could be very, very effective against the Chiefs. But my only issue is I don't know for how long it will be effective. Um, and if the Browns do get an early lead, the Chiefs could be in a little bit of trouble. The Chiefs really need to come out focused. Do not and not underestimating these Browns. And Baker needs to step up and show what he's worth. Because without
Yeah.
that, you can't beat the Chiefs just by running the football. You need to make good, important throws on third downs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with Chase Claypool. I do not believe the Chiefs will clap the Browns, but I do believe the Chiefs will win. Even in their ugly games, Mahomes plays well enough to win. Mahomes doesn't like losing. I don't think he'll allow this team to lose. Just the way he always plays, just he never allows his team to lose. That's probably why he's been so aggressive this season, throwing nearly 16 interceptions. He's been aggressive because he wants to make sure this team can win.
Mhm.
So this team doesn't really lose at home either. So I'm going with the Chiefs, 30-21.
Gotcha. All right, let's jump to the Ravens and Bills.
Oh,
Uh,
please don't be a homer with this one, man.
I'm
Don't
actually
be a
I'm actually
homer.
not. I'm actually not. I did pick the Bills obviously to go to the Super Bowl. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with the Bills. I'm gonna go Bills 27, Ravens 24. Honestly, I do think this game could go either way, even non-biasedly. But it all depends on the Ravens' offense. If they don't stay hot from the last game, they're not going to win. Tre'Davious White on the Bills will probably shut down Marquise Brown completely, in my opinion. I love Marquise Brown, but I do think that's going to happen to him. Mark Andrews, they're probably also going to focus on him. That's going to take away a lot of the offense in terms of throwing for Lamar Jackson. Lamar's going to have to beat him with his legs, but the problem is this Bills defense is used to a mobile quarterback running against them because they face Josh Allen in practice.
Yeah.
So they know what they can do against Josh Allen could work for Lamar Jackson. So I'm not sure if the Ravens will be intense on the offensive end, but I do still want to give them 24 because look, I mean, at the end of the day, they have Justin Tucker,
Mm-hmm.
and their defense is good for maybe a pick six or a forced fumble, which can give them good field position, which can lead to a couple touchdowns. The Ravens need to rely on their defense, which is dangerous against Josh Allen. Um, but also, I think Diggs versus Humphrey is going to be a very interesting matchup. If if they can stop Diggs, they can stop a lot of the Bills' offense, in my opinion, because Beasley is a little bit knocked up. Zach Moss got hurt last game. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure of his availability in this game. Uh, and John Brown did just kind of come off the IR a couple weeks ago. So the Bills are a little bit knocked up. The Ravens could take advantage of that, but in my opinion, I just really, the Ravens are such a momentum-based team. I think that if they don't get that momentum going, I think they're done for against the Bills.
Yeah, I have the Bills winning as well. For me, this is a difficult game to kind of decide because both these teams, I mean, to be honest, didn't play their sharpest games last week in the wild card. These two teams did match up in 2019, if you remember last season, and the Ravens won 24-17. The Baltimore held Josh Allen to 146 yards that game, but this is a much more polished Josh Allen, and now he has, Stephon Diggs. I think that alone, I feel like it's a much more than it was last year. Uh, the running game would definitely have to be improved for the Bills as well. With Zach Moss injured, I think they signed Devontae Freeman today actually to their practice squad. So that keep an eye out for that. He didn't play too well when he was with the Giants, but who knows what he might do? They're just going to need some bodies out there in the backfield. So I have this one being a very close game as well. I have this one being 23-20 Bills.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm just kind of happy Lamar got his first playoff win. That narrative can finally stop. It was such a bad narrative.
Yeah, it really was a bad narrative. It was definitely overplayed.
Yes. Like you can't blame him for his first loss. He was a rookie with Joe Flacco's quarterback. His second loss, it was bad, but at the same time, there were 8 drops in that game or so. Like you can't win off 8 drops. And then they finally won. He finally won this third year, like Peyton Manning did, I believe. So
yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad narrative's over. It was definitely like, oh, can he win? If not, he might need to move on. Like, where is this coming from? Like, this needs to stop. Like, he's like a young quarterback. So there's a lot of quarterbacks who don't even make the playoffs.
exactly.
So the team got led to 11-5 season. Let's relax now. Like, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah, but like the Lamar haters, I don't even know how you can really hate the guy. Like he's a very, very humble guy. If you watch his interviews, it's pretty funny too. But the Lamar haters won't stop at this. I mean, they'll go on to be like, well, he can't win a Super Bowl. Until he proves them wrong, then they'll be like, he can't do it again. So there's always going to be that type of hate. But now he's proved he can get over that. He can really overcome that.